Are you truly alone? Tonight we delve into the abyss, into the chilling depths of true horror. These are not campfire tales spun from the threads of imagination. These are real stories, events that unfolded in the cold light of day, yet left behind a lingering darkness. Prepare yourself. What you are about to hear may steal your sleep, may make you question the shadows in your own home. 3 true tales that will keep you up tonight. Our first story takes us to the unforgiving, snow-swept Ural Mountains of Russia, 1959. A group of experienced ski hikers, 10 young adventurers, led by the seasoned Igor Dyatlov, embarked on a challenging expedition to Otorten Mountain. They were never seen alive again. Weeks later, a search party discovered their abandoned tent, slashed open from the inside. Scattered around were their belongings, their clothing, and their footprints leading down a slope towards a nearby forest. What happened that night? What drove these experienced hikers to flee their shelter in the dead of winter, half-dressed and terrified? The answer remains shrouded in mystery. The first bodies were found near a cedar tree, partially buried in the snow. They were wearing only their underwear and socks. The remaining hikers were discovered further into the forest, some with horrific injuries. One woman's eyes and tongue were missing. Another's skull was fractured, and yet there were no signs of a struggle, no indication of an attack by animals or other humans. The official investigation concluded that the hikers died due to a compelling unknown force. What could have caused such a panicked and brutal end? Was it an avalanche? A secret military experiment gone wrong? Or something far more sinister? The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of history's most baffling and unsettling mysteries, a stark reminder that even in the most familiar landscapes, unimaginable horrors can lurk. Our next tale unfolds in the quiet Bavarian countryside of Germany, 1922. The Hinterkaifeck farm, a remote and isolated homestead, became the scene of a brutal and unsolved crime. The Gruber family, Andreas and Kazilia Gruber, their daughter Victoria, and her 2 children, Kazilia and Joseph, along with their maid, Maria Baumgartner, were all murdered. But the events leading up to the massacre are what truly chills the blood. For months prior to the murders, Andreas Gruber had spoken of strange occurrences on the farm, footprints in the snow leading only to the house, but not away, the disappearance of the house keys, unexplained noises in the attic. He believed someone, or something, was living in his home. Then, on the night of March 31st, the family was lured to the barn, one by one, and brutally murdered with a mattock, a type of pickaxe. The killer then proceeded to the farmhouse and murdered the maid. The bodies were discovered days later. They were arranged in a disturbing manner, as if the killer had spent days living in the farmhouse. With the corpses, investigators found evidence that someone had been eating meals and tending to the fire. But who and why? The Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved to this day. Was it a disgruntled neighbor, a deranged wanderer, or something even more disturbing? The possibility that a killer lived amongst the dead, undetected, is a haunting thought. Our final story ventures into the realm of the paranormal. In 1972, a group of parapsychologists in Toronto, Canada, attempted to create a ghost. They named their fictional spirit Philip, and meticulously crafted a biography for him. Philip was a 17th-century Englishman, a nobleman, who had died in a duel after being accused of treason. The group then began holding seances, attempting to contact Philip. At first, nothing happened. But then, strange occurrences began. The table would shake violently. Objects would move on their own, and the group began receiving intelligent responses to their questions. Through a series of raps and table movements, Philip answered questions about his life, providing details that the group had never included in his fictional biography. The experiment became a sensation, but it also raised profound questions. Was Philip truly a spirit? Or was the group subconsciously creating these phenomena? Skeptics argued that the participants were engaging in ideomotor action, unconsciously moving the table themselves. But the group maintained that the responses they received were beyond their own knowledge. The Philip experiment remains a controversial and unsettling case. Did these parapsychologists succeed in creating a ghost? Or did they unlock something far more mysterious, something that defies explanation? It forces us to question the nature of reality itself and the limits of the human mind. What other entities might we unknowingly conjure? If the shadows have not consumed you yet, check out our sister channels, RichMind, where we dive deep into the psychology behind fear and the darkest corners of the human mind, and Rich Movie for breakdowns of the most terrifying films ever made. Links in the description. Did these stories unsettle you? Did they stir something within the darkness of your own thoughts? Then let us know in the comments below. Like this video, if you dare. Subscribe to RichHorror and strike the bell icon to be alerted when we next plumb the depths of the abyss. Sleep well, if you can. The shadows are always watching.